Two plainclothes policemen suddenly broke into Wang Miao's home, forcefully took him to the military center. A meeting was being held there, and judging from everyone's expressions, they seemed to be facing an extremely tricky situation. The majority in the conference room are generals, with some scientists like Wang Miao. Due to the urgency of the situation, the meeting didn't give everyone equal information, so Wang Miao only roughly understood two things. First, multiple physicists had committed suicide within less than 2 months. The reason behind their suicides was the same. Physics did not exist. Most of these suicidal scholars had connections with the organization called Scientific Boundary, and some were even members of it. Scientific Boundary was an influential organization in the international academic community, with members being top scholars from around the world. Coincidentally, this organization has recently invited Wang Miao as well, but he refused. The second thing was that the operations center hoped Wang Miao would accept Scientific Boundary's invitation to infiltrate the organization and obtain some core information. Wang Miao didn't want to bring trouble upon himself and refused decisively. At this moment, a strong man stood up and accused Wang of being a coward. His name is Shi Chong, and he is one of the police officers who broke into Wang Miao's home. He is vulgar and unreasonable, behaving like an idiot in discussions about science. So, in order to prove his ignorance, Wang Miao agreed to join the Scientific Boundary to gather information. Before leaving, Wang Miao looked out the window again. Under the spring sunshine, traffic flowed on the streets, and a few innocent children were playing on the grassland. This should be the most peaceful time in history. So, Wang Miao raised his doubts to General Chen Weisi. Where was the war? The general gave a mysterious smile and said that the entire human history was accidental. From the Stone Age to now, it's lucky we've avoided truly catastrophic disasters. But be prepared. The day when luck ends would come soon, and the whole world would change completely overnight. After leaving, Wang Miao didn't go home, but went to Ding Yi's residence. Ding Yi was the husband of the suicidal physicist Yan Din, and Wang Miao wanted to get more truth about the suicides from him. But Ding didn't say much, just picked up a billiard ball and started talking to himself. Imagine this, when you are playing pool, the first time the white ball knocks the black ball into the hole, the second time the black ball flies up to the ceiling, and the third time the black ball pierces through the wall at nearly the speed of light and flies out of the solar system. What would you think? The scary thing was that this kind of thing really happened. Physicists found that in high-energy particle accelerator experiments, with the same particles in experimental conditions, the results were completely different. Physicists feel particularly fearful conducting the experiment repeatedly, but each time the results were different, with no discernible pattern. This meant that the universal physical laws of the universe did not exist, which also meant that physics did not exist. This was a disaster for an explorer of frontier theories. After leaving Ding Yi's residence, two words kept flashing through Wang Miao's mind: the Archer hypothesis and the Farmer hypothesis. These were topics that scholars of Scientific Boundary often discussed. Was the stability and order of the world really just a temporary dynamic balance in some corner of the universe? To get rid of this unease, Wang Miao decided to use photography as a distraction. However, the photos he took revealed something that made Wang Miao shiver with fear.